My name's Diccon. I'm the bass player with Pagan Altar. We're here on the tour in North America at the moment. Going to have a little chat about the gear and what we're using. And the first thing is the bass. So this is a custom-built bass. I built it myself. I built guitars in my spare time as a kind of a hobby. And the Nematon brand is kind of my own personal sort of brand, if you know. I just put the name on because I like it. No, I don't have a website, but so there's just a few guitars that got that logo on, and the guitar I built for Alan, who's Pagan Altar's guitar player. You'll probably recognize it. Looks a lot like a Rickenbacker 4001, and it's based on my 1973 4001 rig. I love Rickenbackers, but there's a lot of things about them. They're a little bit unuser friendly. So I wanted to build a bass that I could take on the road and not, they wouldn't get damaged. If the Rickenbacker got damaged, it would be tragic, and it's irreplaceable. But this, I can always make another one if it gets damaged on the road. But touch wood, we've been good so far. So it's made from black walnut, and the red stringers of the wood you can see there are Padauk, which is an African hardwood. It's similar to a rick. It's got a 3-body construction, as you can see there, like that. This is all made out of one plank of wood. And that's why you can still see there's a little bit of sapwood left on that side. That's that lighter bit of grain there. And the thing what I wanted to improve on the Rickenbacker is the neck's got a little bit of a back rake on the angle there. And you've also look at the headstock. It's got a volute there, and it's got much more of a rake on the headstock angle as well. That improves string tension and just makes it a lot more playable. The dimensions, it's more like a jazz bass dimensions up at the nut end there like that, so it just makes it a little bit more easier to play when traveling around with it. The fretboard is made from ebony. I lucked out there. I got a really nice dark piece of ebony. There's not too much grain showing in that, so it's a really nice piece. And the nut is made from solid bronze, which I cast myself, just for the hell of it really. I just fancy the bronze nut. And the pickup that I'm running in it, it's a Seymour Duncan Music Man basslines pickup. It's running passive. There's no actives going on there at all. It seems to be work just fine as it is. The little switch here is just to go between series and parallel, just to have the opportunity. Tone control's not even hooked up. It's just got a master volume control there like that. There was a pickup here. I had the Seymour Duncan Rickenbacker replacement neck pickup in there, but I didn't like it at all, and it was really mismatched with that pickup, so that's just blanked off there. So there's nothing going on there at all, so everything is just running from this pickup. And there's a thumb rest there, which helps my style a lot as well. I like to always anchor my thumb when I'm playing there like that, so I just added that on a bit later. The bridge is a shallow bridge. It's a shallow roller bridge, and the tuning machines are Gotos. So I just kept the hardware black just to fit in with the dark grain of the walnut. Strings, I've just started using these relatively recently. This is the second set I put on their Elixir Strings, and I'm finding them really, really amazing. The gauge is 45 to 105, 45, 65, 85, 105. And they're just great. They're usually, when you put new bass strings on, they sound really toppy and tinny. And especially if you're playing with a fingerstyle, it can sound really sort of tinny and too much top end. But these Elixirs are great. They've got loads of fundamental, and just the tone is lots of tone and a good bottom end to them. So that's in there right from the word go as soon as you put a new set of strings on, and of course they last a lot longer than other strings, which is proved to me. So they're actually worth the little bit of extra outlay that price-wise that comes with them. So I'm going to be sticking with these for quite a long time. I think I really like them. Tuning, we're in regular tuning, A440 concert pitch. Really simple pedals that we're running here because we're traveling really light on the tour, so we had to keep it really simple. But to be honest, we're not going to use much more than this at a local show in England either. Just basic Boss stage tuner there, keep in tune. Sansamp bass driver. I've been using one of these for about nearly 20 years now. They're great. They're sort of get out of jail free card for any bass player, as I'm sure they'll attest. I just wish they put a mid control on this pedal. But they've never done on this one. But some of the newer pedals are coming out, they're doing that. But it's just a really handy thing to have around, and your sound man loves it as well because you can take a DI out the side. The sound men always like the sound coming out of that. And this I've just started using on this tour. This was a gift from a former employer. It's the BBE Sonic Stomp. It's a sonic maximizer. What it is just a pedal version of their rack system of the sonic maximizer, and it just sort of gives a little bit of a boost to the bass and the treble frequencies, and especially for a bass, it's sort of the blurb is they make the frequencies arrive at the amp at the same point, so it just gives you a bit of a lift and a lot more of a punchy sound, which for bass is great. It sort of keeps you punching through the mix. And not using batteries, or just running on a little power supply, and that's all we're using for this tour, really, keeping it nice and simple. Load of cable in the skip that was thrown out by Status Quo many years ago. They're throwing all their old backline at the place where we used to work in London by the Thames, and they threw a whole lot of old gear out, so I've got about 30 meters of cable off their roadies there, so I've been using that ever since. So I've got cable for life, thanks Status Quo. If you want to check out more about the band, have a look on Facebook. It's official Pagan Altar Alan Jones.